During this segment, you will learn about behavior prohibited by state and federal law and district policy. This behavior is commonly referred to as harassment. Harassment is a legal term. The purpose of this training is to learn about the different types of behavior that can be considered harassment: sexual, religious, and racial, along with violence. You will also learn how to recognize the behavior, how to report it, and what is involved in investigations. The district has a policy that defines prohibited behavior and what needs to be done about it. This policy is required under state and federal law. The district has a goal that all students and staff are entitled to a safe and respectful environment. There are 4 types of prohibited behavior: sexual, racial, and religious harassment or violence. Prohibited behavior is any unwelcome conduct or communication based on a person's sex, race, or religion. That is behavior that hurts an employee's work, a student's school experience, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment. Unwelcome means action or behavior that is not wanted. The person witnessing or affected by the behavior did not ask for the behavior to occur. It is verbal or physical conduct that is related to sex, race, or religion. Sexual harassment is behavior that is not wanted, causes discomfort, and is of a sexual nature. Remember, people may not tell you it is unwelcome. Assume that all offensive behavior is not wanted. Examples of harassment include using profane language, telling off-color jokes, using sexist terms, making comments about body parts, leering, touching, patting, saying terms of endearment, hugging, pinching, and displaying centerfold or bathing suit types of photographs and artwork. Any request for sexual favors, of course, is forbidden. Quid pro quo is a legal term that describes an expectation of sexual favors that will result in benefits. It also means retaliation will happen to an employee or student if those favors are denied. Examples include a supervisor threatens a subordinate employee that his or her job or promotion will be denied unless the person says yes to the sexual demands. Another example is that a student fears a lower grade if he or she does not submit to an adult's sexual advances. Racial harassment is another type of prohibited behavior. Racial harassment consists of verbal or physical actions that are related to a person's race or the race of someone with whom they are acquainted with. Examples of racial harassment include use of derogatory words, such as honky or Oreo, drawing intimidating graffiti, such as swastikas, demeaning any person because they are dating a person from a different race, portraying minorities in demeaning ways, and making academic assumptions or giving academic advice based on racial stereotypes. Religious harassment is physical or verbal conduct that puts down an individual's religion. It can also create an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment. Examples include making derogatory remarks about another person's religious dress, such as head coverings, using expressions such as to Jew someone down, swastikas, making fun of, teasing or verbal abuse directed at an employee or student because of his or her religious beliefs. Listed here are a few examples of religious harassment. The U.S. Supreme Court has said that a hostile environment is created when harassment substantially interferes with an individual's work or school performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work or school environment. The Minnesota Supreme Court has said that an unlawful hostile environment exists when the employee or student is the target of repeated, unwelcome, derogatory remarks or physical contact of a sexual, racial, or religious nature. Any threatening behavior or assault that is sexually, racially, or religiously motivated is called violence. Examples are sexual touching, cross-burning, hostility and acts of aggression towards any racial or religious group, threats via email, computer, or phone, threatening graffiti or slam books. Sexual violence is the physical act of aggression, coercion, or force, or the threat of physical action, which involves the touching of another's intimate parts, or forcing a person to touch any person's intimate parts. Intimate parts include the primary genital area, groin, inner thigh, buttocks or breast, as well as the clothing covering these areas. Racial violence is a physical act of aggression, assault or threats of physical action upon another